In a world where the lights have gone out and silence stretches across the skyline, survival isn't just about food or fighting off threats. It's about finding a voice in the void. When every tower is dark, every phone is dead, and every familiar sound has vanished, one question rises above the noise. How do you reach out when no one can hear you? In our last article, we explored how scavenging for water and crafting something as simple as bread could mean the difference between life and death in a survival mode for The Division 3. If you missed that one, we'll drop a link in the description. But today, we're taking things a step further. Because when society collapses and the grid goes dark, communication isn't just a luxury, it's survival. And based on the latest episode of Tenacity with Dr. Bradley Garrett, it's clear that staying connected might become one of the most overlooked yet essential skills in a post-pandemic DC or New York. Now imagine this, a survival mode in The Division 3 where you're cut off from your squad. The map is incomplete, your GPS is offline, and the SHD network is down. The only way to regroup? Rebuilding the very infrastructure that once kept you connected. No fast travel, no pings. Just static-filled channels and your own resourcefulness. This is where things get really interesting. Instead of just looting for gear, you're scavenging for parts to craft a working radio, maybe even tracking down a satellite uplink hidden in an abandoned safe house. Dr. Garrett highlights how long-range two-way radios like GMRS units can maintain contact when cell towers are down. Now picture that in-game, agents with short-range handheld radios, enough to reach nearby allies or tap into enemy frequencies. Maybe you overhear chatter, maybe you intercept a distress call from another player, or an ambush in progress. That kind of mechanic wouldn't just add tension, it would add immersion. Suddenly, survival isn't just about fighting, it's about listening. Then there's the DIY angle, building a radio receiver from scavenged parts. In real life, it sounds like prepper talk, but it's surprisingly doable. A few resistors, capacitors, an antenna, maybe a crank. That kind of mechanic in The Division 3 could feel game-changing. Imagine scavenging an old electronics store, tuning dials to catch distorted broadcasts, emergency signals, SHD intel, maybe even enemy plans. A basic receiver might only catch static-laced alerts, but an upgraded version? That could unlock encrypted data, lead to rare supply caches, or let you call in limited SHD support. And then you've got satellite comms. That could become a key late-game mechanic, players uncovering or building uplink terminals to reach SHD agents across the map. But those terminals might be limited use or require rare fuel, creating high-risk, high-reward decisions. Do you risk your position for a supply drop? Or call for extraction and possibly alert enemy factions tracking your signal? The podcast even touches on analog communication. Flares, smoke signals, fires, and it's easy to imagine The Division 3 taking a page from that. Picture a desperate flare lighting up the skyline, a signal fire marking a safe zone, or a crude smoke beacon helping your team find you. But just like in real life, these signals come with danger. They reveal your location. They could attract help or enemies. What makes this concept so compelling is that The Division is primed for reinvention. The original survival mode was an atmospheric masterclass focused on weather and infection. But this new direction? It could expand survival into something more human, more unpredictable. By making communication a scarce, rebuildable resource, something you craft, protect, and fight for, survival becomes more than a physical challenge. It becomes an emotional one. So next time you're scavenging for food or crafting a medkit, remember, survival isn't just about the physical grind. It's about those quiet moments, the tension of static, and the hope that someone, somewhere, is still out there, listening. Stay tuned to Manawar Gaming for more deep dive survival concepts, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, because when the call finally comes through, you'll want to be ready to answer.